Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Devilore here with yet another match. This is Game 2 of Zaio versus Skyborn, aka Taio versus Newborn, according to their in-game names. We see Taio, Zaio, whatever O, spawning over here on the west side of Metalopolis as the blue Protoss, and over here on the east side we see Newborn, aka Skyborn, spawning as the yellow Zerg on the east side of Metalopolis. We have cross-map positions now. Unlike the proxy positions we had in Game 1 on Lost Temple, we have completely cross-map positions, which is going to allow for a lot more macro-focused and ideally a little bit longer of a game. It's very, very tough to get a really good early rush in these positions. So we'll have to see what these players choose to do. Obviously, Zerg players love this cross position because it allows them to expand all over the place, and Zerg love them some expansions. I just want to give a quick, gentle reminder once again before we get too far into this game that this is, in fact, from the Tank Spot Kaze Lore SC2 Tournament that was done for just a handful of friends that hang out in the Tank Spot donor forums. This is not anything super major. This is not MLG. This is not GSL or anything like that. So don't be too hard on these guys if they don't play like the White Raws and Next Geniuses and Hucks and Idras of the world. These are just some friends having some fun, hanging out, playing some StarCraft, which is perfectly acceptable and honestly what all friends should be doing. So we see a 13 gateway going down for Zaio this time and opting for a slightly more economical build than the 12 gateway that we saw last time. And it looks like Skyborn's going to go ahead and try to get his hatchery down. And there it goes, hatchery down on 14. We see Zaio's probe waypoints all over the place, bouncing around here inside of Skyborn's main here. Wants to see as much as he possibly can. And ideally, he should be looking to get a good idea for when Skyborn drops down his spawning pool, which should be pretty soon here. It looks like he's actually going for a very, very late spawning pool. Normally, we would have seen that by now, but he wants to get a few more drones up instead. We see here over in Zaio's base, he has his gas down. It's about halfway done. Gateway finishing just now. Should be seeing a cybernetics core or another gateway. Cybernetics core, there it is. Now notice the positioning here. In the last game he had a lot of trouble because he positioned his cybernetics core so that there was this big open space at the top of his ramp. With this positioning, there is a very, very tiny spot right there where he can put this one zealot that he's making right now. Can place that one zealot right there, and that completely protects him from any sort of early Zergling rushes. So much, much smarter positioning this time out of Zaio. Could be making a little bit better use of his chrono boost though, getting the zealot out quicker, or even just getting out some more probes. Now we see the expansion is just now finishing for Skyborn, and his spawning pool is almost done as well. He does have this gas up, so he will be able to get that Zergling speed again very, very early. And we have this weirdly placed proxy pylon here. Normally you would want to place this up here or over here so that it's out of position or out of viewing range immediately. And he's actually got this Overlord right here. Is he able to see it? Yeah, he knows that's right there. So as soon as he gets some Zerglings up, which it looks like, yeah, he's producing 8 Zerglings right now. As soon as those are up, he's going to be able to just run over there and kill off that pylon. Not a great move from Zaio. It's going to be a waste of 100 minerals, and looks like it's actually probably going to hit his supply cap here if he continues producing. And there goes those Zerglings. That pylon's going to fall relatively quickly here. Now back in Zaio's main here, we see he's going for 3 gateways. He's getting a 3rd gateway up. His warp gate research is about halfway done, so looks like he's probably going to go for an early 4-gate push again. Oh, and the gas steal from Skyborn over here. Taking that gas, that's definitely very, very hurtful if Zaio was going for a very, very tech-focused build, but honestly not that big of a deal with the 4 warp gate build, especially with the amount of Zerglings that Skyborn is using here, because the extra gas isn't really needed for the Zealots, which are very, very strong against Zerglings. So we do have a whole bunch of Zerglings coming up now from Skyborn. Might try to take a poke up here, but this one Zealot and the couple of Stalkers that he has up, looks like just one Stalker that he has up, are going to be able to block that off no problem. Yeah, he can try and pick away at this gateway here a little bit. Honestly, he could probably take out that gateway, but he wisely pulls back. 1 gateway, not really worth losing all of his Zerglings, especially since Zergling speed is only about a 1/3 of the way done at this point. If we look at the units tab, we can see they are very, very even on probes, which again, it just is kind of strange considering that he does, Skyborn does have this expansion up. Looks like he's morphing that into a layer as well. Probably going to be going for, honestly, I'm not sure what to expect that he was going for. With all of these stalkers here, I would expect, which he does obviously know are there, I would expect him to go for Hydralisk, because stalkers not that great against Hydralisk. Pulling his Zerglings all the way back to his main, does not want any of them to get picked off. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. He could keep sitting them around out here, but not necessary to risk it. And a Robo Bay coming down as well for Zaio here. Now, normally you don't see Protoss go 4-gate and a Robo Bay unless they really, really desperately decide they want the detection from the observer. But obviously that depends on how well your macro is doing. So with the sitting in the 300 to 500 mineral range here for Zaio, this is perfectly acceptable. He'll be able to use that and be able to get some extra units out. Having an extra production structure too is honestly not the worst thing in the universe at this level of play, just because it lets you produce more units when you let your macros up a little bit. So we see an Evo chamber about to finish. Hydralisk Den and a Roach Warren coming down for Skyborn. So it looks like he wants to transition into a Roach Hydra build in the mid game. I honestly would have liked to see him open Roaches if this is what he wanted to go for, just because he would have been able to do a little bit better early pressure with those Roaches. The extra range that they have now in the most recent patch really, really helps them a lot against early game Protoss. Makes it very, very tough to deal with a small number of Roaches that early in the game. Zaio moving his forces around here. Looks like he might want to make a push, but otherwise isn't really doing much with them. We see an observer coming out here. He's going to be able to do a little bit of poking around, a little bit of scouting to see what exactly Skyborn is up to, which honestly isn't anything super surprising at this point. He does have some Hydralisks in the works. Is he doing any sort of research with those? It doesn't look like it at this point. He is not even using this Evo chamber yet. Just trying to get up as many drones as he can. We see an expansion coming up now for Zaio as well. So very, very standard RTS logic, as Day9 likes to put it. He talks about this all the time. When you're expanding, make a push. Force your opponent to stay in his base. Unfortunately, if we look at the unit count, it really does not look like this force from Zaio is going to be able to do too much against the amount of units that Skyborn currently has. All these Zerglings, 34 Zerglings now, as well as a couple of Hydralisks. I would be worried about making a push with that, and yeah, it looks like Zaio is actually just going to sit back here, send out his observer to try and get an idea of what exactly is going on. So both players being very passive so far in this game. There was that very early push from Skyborn, but that got shut down pretty quickly, and he just pulled all the way back to his main. So Skyborn can obviously see that this push is coming. He has control of that Zelnaga watchtower. It looks like he's starting to, if I look in the production tab, yeah, he's building a bunch more units. He's got a few Roaches coming out, and he's working on the ground carapace upgrade for Zerg for ground units as well, which is honestly very, very important against this army composition from Skyborn. From Zaio. Sorry, I keep calling them the same name. Everyone is Skyborn today, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in here to do a little bit of a push, but the Zerglings get this round off. The force fields go down. Honestly, I would have preferred to see a Guardian Shield instead of force fields there, and this unit is, oh my god, he's getting completely annihilated at this point. Every single unit gone. That was not a good time to take a push. He should have seen that with his observers and been able to pull back and recognize that there are entirely too many units there for him to be able to take, and now Skyborn has free reign of the map. This expansion is absolutely screwed at this point. Fortunately, there's not much in the way of drones there. We do have a Colossus coming up for Zaio as well, so he should be able to, if he can get this Colossus out in time and maybe a sentry or two to block off this ramp, he should be able to hold this off. And yeah, there goes the sentries coming up now. But this expansion is totally screwed. That's just going to die at this point. Nothing he can do to save that. Honestly, just sitting back in his base at this point and trying to build up as much as he can. Letting this Colossus get up there. He's just now starting the extended thermal lances. Oh my god, there are so many units here. He needs to get that force field off. He needs to, oh my god, drop the force field, dude. You got to drop the force field. All your units are dying. Sentries are taking damage. Everything's going to, okay, I guess Skyborn's going to pull away. Well, That's odd. I guess he wanted to wait for the rest of these reinforcements to get here. These 2 sentries, if he can drop the force field right here in the map, he can hold off for a long time with just those 2. Give him enough time to get more Colossi up. He should be building another one. Looks like he's a little short on gas. He can't quite build it yet. But if he can sit back, just be patient, and build up some Colossi, get those Colossus numbers up higher, he can hold this off. He's just going to... Oh, what? Yeah, I guess he's going to push out. That is not a good idea at this point. He drops down a couple of force fields. They don't do anything at all. And this complete surround is going on. Looks like the Colossus is going to be able to sneak into the back, but everything else is dead at this point. That one Colossus, and that sentry goes down too. That one Colossus is all that remains. And the Zerglings just start to pour in, and there's so many roaches as well. Even a few Hydras in the back just hanging out, doing whatever they can. The Colossus goes down, not even producing another one yet. This is going to end very, very poorly for Zaio at this point. Not much of anything he can do to recover from this. And yeah, that pylon being down, that's pretty much GG at this point. I would expect to see him tap out at any point. He does have the Chrono Boost coming on this Colossus to try and get it out, but against this many roaches and that many everything else, 14 roaches, 3 Hydras, and 33 Zerglings, which are now streaming across the map to reinforce. Zaio is not long for this world. This is going to end very, very shortly. Yeah, that Colossus is not even going to make it. Oh, he even corrupts it to make sure that it doesn't finish. So that's going to be it for this game. I expect a GG at any moment now. His base is gone. Yep, and there's the GG. Bleh, GG from Zaio. So Skyborn, a.k.a. Newborn, takes this 2-0 in the quarterfinals here of the Tank Spot Kaze Lure SC2 Invitational. Again, just a reminder to everyone, just a fun game between friends. Don't be too hard on these players. They did their best, and honestly, having fun playing StarCraft is more important than being a super baller anyway, in my humble opinion. So thanks again very, very much for watching. Keep an eye out. There will be more of these matches coming up. Hope you enjoy them. At the very least, hope the people that are watching this who are playing in the tournament are enjoying this. I'm pretty much just doing this for you guys. So, yeah. Catch you guys later.